Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And today we are getting ready to do it again. We're going to can up some navy beans, okay? Now if you have already soaked your beans and you got black beans, red beans, no problem. You can do the same thing with whatever kind of bean you choose. But today I'm doing navy beans. And I'm going to do them like 3 ways, okay? So yeah. Navy beans 3 ways. Let's get started. As always, you are going to need your canning jars. I'm doing quarts. You can do pint and a half, pints, whatever you choose. But today I'm doing quart size jars. I have my beans right here that was soaking overnight. This pot and that other pot back there full of beans. And I got my canning tools. You need these things. This is to replace my debubbler because I don't know where it's at. But if you have one of those, grab your little tools. And I'm going to be using, of course, a spoon to get my beans out, a ladle to put in the water in the jars. And my jars are washed. They're clean and they have been hanging out in my oven for about 30 minutes, getting good and hot because my beans are very hot. Because you know when we soak the beans, after you soak them overnight, when you come back, you're going to wash them real good, right? You're going to wash them. And then you're going to put water in them again and bring them back up to a boil. And once they start boiling, we're ready to go. Now somebody asked me about, do you boil them for 30 minutes? I'm going to show you something. Let me show you this bean. Look at this hot. I don't boil them for 30 minutes because after you bring them, they've soaked overnight, and then you bring them back up to a boil. Look at this. That bean is already soft enough. And then it's about to go through the canning process for 90 minutes. So no, I'm not cooking them, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get my jars out of the oven. They are hot. My lids are sitting in some nice warm water. My bands are in disguise right here. And I'm going to pull my jars out of the oven and we're going to go ahead and get started with getting them canned up. I forgot to mention, my pressure canner is sitting here with my 3 quarts of water. And I got it on low because I want the water inside to be good and hot, okay? So I got out my first 2 jars. So now if y'all are ready, let's do it. So now what I'm going to do, move these closer here because they are good and hot. And I'm going to grab my hot water and get it over here too. Now we ready? All right, so now I'm doing a basic bean first, okay? And all I'm going to do is put in 2 cups of navy beans. That's it. I'm going to use this to drain the water off just in case, because all I wanted here is bean, no water. And I'm being generous. It ain't got to be like the perfect cup. It's okay if it's got a little extra in it. It's not going to hurt anything, okay? But approximately 2 good cups, okay? Now, after I got my 2 cups in, whoops, I'm going to ladle in my water. This is just regular beans. And that's going to be a 1-inch headspace on that, okay? Always do a 1-inch headspace on your beans. Do the next jar. I've canned beans before, you all, and I have a video that shows how I did that, okay? But, all right, that's 2 cups. Now, at this point, if I want, I can add salt, right? But I'm not adding any salt to this. Nothing. Just beans and water. This is plain Jane. Plain Jane. And I'm going to get these filled up. One-inch headspace. Almost. Okay. Got my 1-inch headspace. Almost forgot about the vinegar. Now you don't have to use vinegar. You can use water because this is just beans and water. So you don't have to use the vinegar, but I love to use the vinegar because I'm going to pour it in my water anyway. Going to grab my handy dandy magnet. Grab 2 lids. 2 bands. Fingertip tight, y'all. Don't crank down on that, okay? Make sure it's just fingertip tight. Grab my beans. Voila. And get them in the canner. That's all to that. Now we are going to do a taco seasoned bean. Oh my goodness, this is going to be great for if you wanted to make burritos or something. They already seasoned and ready to go. Let's do that. Now we are getting ready to do the taco seasoned beans. This is going to be awesome. All right, so now again, I'm going to add in my 2 cups of beans to each one of these, and I'm measuring it out for y'all so y'all can see. Not perfect, but approximately 2 nice cups. Okay. I'm doing this to each one. Actually, I think I might do 3 jars like this instead of 2. All right, yeah. I'm going to do 1 more. Just like that one. In this batch, that is. Okay. All right. Now that we have 3 jars right here, set this to the side. I have some taco seasoning that I made, okay? And I made it out of a mixture of my spices. It smells good. Good air. If you want me to show you how I did my taco seasoning, post it in the comment section below. And if I get enough people who want to see it, I'll do a quick little video on how to put together your own homemade taco seasoning, okay? So, post that in the comment section. Now, I am going to take, look at this jar. I got my teaspoon here. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons. 2 heaping teaspoons. And that's it. And then I'm going to add my water. All right, so I'm getting the water added to the jar. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the last jar. When y'all are canning should be enjoyable. It should be fun, y'all. It should be something you enjoy doing, not just because it's a necessity, but man, do you get to play around with all of the different recipes and stuff. I'm gonna stir this up. Look at there. Isn't that beautiful? These are absolutely beautiful and seasoned to perfection. All right. Now I'm going to get my paper towel, wipe off my rims, make sure ain't no red pepper flakes stuck on there. Magnet. Grab my lids. And now I'm going to grab my bands. All right, and we're going to put these on fingertip tight. And we're going to get them in the jar, in the canner. Isn't that beautiful? Look at there. That's my taco seasoned beans. Yep, I'll be using them to make some burritos. Maybe put them over some nachos. Yup. All right. 2 quarts that can go in my pressure canner because mine only holds 7. I am going to do chili beans. So if you want to make chili beans or a starter for chili, right? You need chili beans and you need them to be nice and seasoned, right? So this is what I'm going to be adding. And all I have to add to that is some ground turkey. Bam! Chili beans. All I got to do is open up a can of ground turkey, pour in my ground turkey, add me some fresh vegetables if I want to. I got myself a nice pot of chili. What? Okay, so let's go ahead and get this canned up. Now, again, I made this myself from all the spices that I have. I made my own mix. And if you want to know, look at that. Smells like chili in a bowl. So if you want to know what that recipe is, post it in the comment section. And I'll do a quick video on how I put together these 2 different spices that I have. One for the chili and then the other for the tacos, okay? So let's go ahead and get this put in the jars. All right. Again, I'm adding my 2 cups of navy beans. Alrighty. Moving on. Now, I hope you all are finding this helpful and easy to do, okay? Because that's the goal right here. All right. So now, I got this done. I have, okay, so this is my teaspoon right here. Look at there. Now look, it's spicy. Yeah, you better let some folks know. If you don't like spice, then all you got to do is leave out the red, but it's chili. Just leave out the red pepper flakes and the cayenne, okay? But I'm going to hit this up. with a couple of heaping teaspoons. Let me make sure. I'm going to do a teaspoon and a half. Just because it smells so good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get the water added to these. This is like easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, so now I'm going to finish up with this jar right here. I'm going to get it in the canner. Well, actually, what I'm going to do first, okay, take that off of there. Grab my bubbler, give it a mix. Yeah, that smells so good. That smells so good. Okay, now I'm going to grab my towel, get the rims, grab my band, my lid, get those on, and grab my bands. Okay. And that's that one. Okay. Chili beans. I'm getting these in the canner. I'm going to take out one of these jars because I forgot to add in the remainder of my vinegar that I used to clean my rims with. Just going to pour that down in there. Then I'm going to put this jar back in. I have 7 quarts in this canner. Going to grab my lid here, making sure that there's nothing from keeping my little nipple here from coming in and out. My vent pipe is clear. And now somebody asked me about oiling this gasket. I'm going to do that real quick, okay? I'm going to show you something. After every 5 or 6 uses, if you have a Presto pressure canner like mine, you want to take this out. You want to take it out and you want to oil it. I'm going to show you how. All I have is some cooking oil and a paper towel, okay? I'm going to pour this on my paper towel, just a little bit. You don't even need a lot. See? Just a little. Take this. I'm going to take my paper towel and just put that over it like so. And I'm going to go all the way around. Just a few times to make sure I get oil all over it. That's all. Go underneath. Feed it through. And now, good there. Good and oiled. Pop it right back into place. That is so simple. And you're ready to go. You want to do that after you use your canner every 5 times or so is when I do it, okay? Every 4 or 5 times I will oil that gasket, okay? So now I'm going to get this on. Seal that baby up tight. Crank this up to high. That's going to start to build up pressure. When it starts to build up pressure, as I always say, but this is for all of those who may be watching my videos for the first time. So if you're new to canning and you're watching this for the first time, I got to show you something. canning and you're trying to learn. Now that I have my lid on here, I got my fire cranked up to high, this baby is going to start to build up pressure on the inside of this canner, okay? And when that happens, you might see that nipple in the back. It might push up, right? That's going to be a telltale sign that this canner is loaded with pressure. But you're also going to have steam coming up out of this little vent pipe right here. That's what this is. You're going to have steam just coming up out of here. Now, initially, it's going to be coming out of there low, sputtering, slowly, very sporadic. But what you're looking for is a steady flow of steam. And I'm going to show you what that looks like when we get to that part, okay? But once this steady flow of steam comes out, then we'll be ready for the next step, all right? Stay tuned. Okay, you all, so I don't know if y'all can see that, but you see how you got steam coming up out of here? This is not quite a steady flow of steam. This is like a sputter because it's spitting water out of there, all of that. You see what I'm saying? And it's just like real mild, but it's not forcefully pushing air up out of there. So this is not what I'm talking about when I say a steady flow of steam. This is that sputter that you don't want. Okay, so we're not quite there yet, but almost. And now you can see the difference. This is a steady flow of steam right here. I mean, I don't know if you can really see it, but it's all up here and it's forcefully pushing air out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my timer, because this has to vent, is what it's called. It has to vent for 10 minutes. So I've started my timer for 10 minutes. Once this vents for 10 minutes, we'll be back with the next step. Okay, the timer has gone off. My 10 minutes is up. If you have a canner like mine, you also have a pressure regulator. And all I'm going to do now is put that pressure regulator over the vent pipe. Okay? My canner is going to build up to pressure. For my altitude, I have to can for 90 minutes. I'm canning quart-sized jars of beans. So these will process for 90 minutes. Okay? Quart-sized processes for 90 minutes. Now, when my canner builds up to 10 pounds of pressure, between 10 and 11, for my altitude, I will process these. I will start my timer for 90 minutes, okay? I'm going to say it one more time just in case I confuse somebody. I think I confused myself. Okay, so what I'm going to do again, now that I have my pressure regulator on, I'm going to allow this to build up pressure. From my altitude, it's going to be 10 pounds of pressure. Once it reaches 10 pounds of pressure, I'm going to start my timer for 90 minutes because I'm canning quart-sized jars of beans. If you're canning pints, you would do this for, I believe, 75 minutes, okay? But because I'm doing quarts, mine is 90 minutes, all right? So once this builds up to 10 pounds, between 10 and 11, I'll start my timer. And I will also reduce my heat because right now this baby is on high heat, okay? There you go. Now, it's on high heat right now because I'm wanting to build it up to pressure, okay? So I'm leaving it on high. But as you can see, we're already at 7 pounds of pressure. I don't know if you can see it or not. We're almost at 8 pounds of pressure now. So once it gets to 10 pounds, I'm going to slowly reduce this down to a low. And then I'm going to monitor my gauge to make sure that it stays between 10 and 11 pounds of pressure for my altitude. All right? And then if it holds there, then it's great leaving it at low. If it starts to fall below 10 pounds, I know I need to turn the heat up just a tad. But in any case, you want to play with it based on your stove, because every stove is different. So you want to play with it to make sure that whatever temperature you set this dial at is to make sure that it holds at 10 pounds of pressure. Okay? Now, on that 9 pounds of pressure, I will say this. Y'all do your research for your altitude, okay? Do your research. I mean, really, you can Google it and find out what your altitude is. How many feet above sea level are you? Okay? In most canning books, it'll tell you if you are at 1,000 plus feet, this is what you need to process your food at. Whether it be 10 pounds, 15 pounds, or 20 pounds of pressure, is all going to be based upon your altitude. So you all got to do your homework on that, okay? You all got to research that for yourself, okay? All right, so I'm at just about 11 pounds of pressure. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to slowly turn this dial down. Just slowly turn it down till I'm getting used to where it's supposed to go. So I'm turning it down, and I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to monitor my gauge. I'm going to start my timer for 90 minutes. All right. And I'm going to make sure that I keep monitoring this to make sure it stays between 10 and 11. If it does that, then the temperature that I have it at is perfect. If it starts to go a little bit above, I know I need to turn it all the way down to low. If it starts going a little bit below, I know I need to turn my heat up just a smidgen to keep it between 10 and 11 pounds, again, for my altitude, okay? All right, you all. So what's going to happen is once this timer goes off, that 90 minutes is up, I will bring you all back, and we will take these babies out of the canner together, all right? In fact, while that's doing that, I'm going to grab that ball guide to canning and have a look. You all. So what I have here, did I tell y'all Mr. H about me a new ball book guide to canning? I have an old one. Pages falling all out of it. It's from like 2009. I don't know. I think it's 2009. He's like, we need to get you updated quick. So he got me another one. And now I have bigger books. Let me show you this. Okay, so this is an example of a bigger book, okay? See that? And this is also the all-new ball book of canning and preserving. Now, I've had this for about a year or two, 3. Wait, let me see. I don't know. Whenever it came out, that's when I got it, okay? I'm looking to see. Oh, 2016. Okay. Guess I've had it for about 4 years. But anyway, I like the book, but it's my least favorite. Yeah, it is. It's my least favorite. It's got some great stuff in here. Don't get me wrong. But if you're just trying to get things done simply, you know, this book is okay. It has some simple things in it. But this one is my absolute favorite. See the difference? Thin. And it has some wonderful recipes in it. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is the newest book right here. And you can find it at Walmart. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm showing you this book is because I get a lot of questions about altitude. And this book on page 9, if you go out and buy this book and read it, on page 9, it has pressure canning altitude right here. Okay? It has it there. It tells you if you are 0 to 1,000 feet, you have a weighted gauge, it should be 10 pounds. If you have a dial gauge, it's 11 pounds. If you are between 1,001 and 2,000 feet, it's 15 pounds of pressure for a weighted gauge, 11 pounds for a dial gauge. It has it all in this book right here for pressure canning, water bath canning, right? So now, and the water bath part is just processing time. But in any case, go out and get your book, okay? This book has a lot of information in it, and I reference it all the time. Some recipes, when you do them over and over and over again, you just automatically know, right? You just automatically know how long you process pint-sized beans or quart-sized beans, pint-sized meat, quart-sized meat. If you do it enough, you just automatically know, right? But this book has a lot of recipes, a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. Get the book you want. You can get this big one if you want. You know, it's up to you. Get whatever you want to get. But just make sure you get a guide to canning. All right? That's going to be very important. Okay, so I'll bring y'all back here in just a moment. It's time to get our cans out of the pressure canner, our jars out of the pressure canner. So now, again, the nipple is down, the dial gauge is at 0. You found it? Mm-hmm. The nipple is down, the dial gauge is at 0, and now I can take off my pressure regulator. Grab this. Put it there. I'm going to open this canner, okay? Now, always open this lid away from you, okay? You don't want to burn all of that beautifulness, okay? So let's open it away from us. Okay. Woo! That smells good. All right, let's go ahead and get them out. Okay. These are the regular beans right there. All right. So now, these two that I just took out, those are my two. Oh, it's just boiling. These two right here are my chili beans. This is my regular one right here. This is my other, just regular plain old beans. And these three are my taco flavored beans. All right. Now that's that. Do y'all see how beautiful those beans are? These are all taco, regular chili beans. See them beans boiling? Still boiling on the inside. That's why y'all let these jars sit overnight. Let them cool down because they have a lot of heat inside of them, okay? So we're going to let those chill out overnight. And when we come back, we'll be ready to take off these rings. We will be ready to write on the lid or either on a beautiful little piece of label, beautiful little label that goes on your canning jar. You can write what the product is inside and the date. And for this, I'm going to even put no salt added, okay? Just plain beans and water, okay? They're already singing. That is going to do it for today's video on canning beans 3 ways, okay? So I hope that helped you. If it did and you liked the video, then like the video, give it that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now share this with everybody you know, okay? Share this information because it is so important that we all get together and learn how to prepare and preserve our own food so we're not dependent upon anyone to feed us we are well capable of feeding ourselves. Okay? So that's it. Thank you all so much again for watching Homestead Heart. Join me tomorrow. Remember that beautiful jar of ground turkey I showed you? That's what we're going to be canning tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all join me for that. Stay tuned. It's going to be so easy. So easy. Thank y'all so much for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And I will see you tomorrow in the next canning video.